Thank you so much, Netflix. Oh boy, this mess is not gonna be great. Thank you so much, Netflix. Seriously, Lee Jung-jae, Hwang, the director of this show. Seriously, it's been fantastic. Like, honestly, it's been a fun ride. Squid Game, it's been a fun ride. I remember when I started watching Squid Game. I remember, this was a fun fact. Like, I remember the first episode. I watched it in class. I watched it with my mom in Spanish. I watched it in English. You know,
like I think I watched it like 3 times.
You can see how much I liked Squid Game, how much it took me by surprise, and how much it took the world by surprise. This big phenomenon, which I mean, like, people have really liked it, others have disliked it. That's normal. Like, everyone has their own opinion. That's fine. But yeah, as for me, yeah, I always liked Squid Game, and I was so down for Squid Game Season 2, although it took a lot of time. Squid Game Season 2 and Season 3 were shot at the same time, so that's why, like, I remember people were kind of concerned with Season 2 because it felt like a half part, which is kind of true. Like, Season 3 takes exactly where Season 2 left. So I'm going to tell you what are my thoughts of this show in general, and I'm going to do another video where I'm going to do a tier list, talking about the characters, which that will contain spoilers. But this one, no worries, it won't contain any spoiler. This is a non-spoiler review. It will be a quick review about my general sensations, my thoughts. I finished this last night. And I just can't wait to talk about it. By the way, if I remove this and this, it's because it's way too hot right now. It's like 30 degrees, but look, I'm committing. So that's why I deserve a like and a subscribe button from you, because also I'm trying to grow the channel. So please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And now let's get with my opinions, shall we? So to start, I have to say that I really enjoyed this Season 3. Like, I think Season 3 is the best way to bring a closure to this Squid Game universe. You know, like, Squid Game 1, 2, and 3, you feel like it's a nice trilogy that follows itself, that was very well done. So honestly, kudos to that, because it's not always easy to stick the landing and deliver something that will be great. You know, like, that's always something stressing. When you have a good product, you start strong, then you have to continue strong. Well, I feel like, yeah, this show really continued strong. I know people kind of dislike Season 2, but like I said, it's like the beginning of the end, you know. So it was really 2-parters. Now when you watch Season 2 and 3, you understand how it was pieced together and everything, which I found it was very good. You know, it was very entertained. Like, I was really hooked, and I just enjoyed it. For me, this is really the way, how to say, thank you so much, and close this Squid Game trilogy. So kudos to that, honestly, and that's thanks to the director Hwang, because he really did a fine job. Despite him not wanting to do Season 2 and 3, sorry, he didn't want to do that, but of course Netflix really pressured him, like, because he said, like, he didn't really had a script for that. Like, his plan was just to make 1 season and that's it. Like, that was his dream, to just put this. So they really kind of forced his hand, let's say, like that, with money, of course, just to really bring this, you know, so the hype doesn't die and anything. And I think for someone who got really pushed so hard and everything, like, he really delivered something so well. And speaking of that, that's where I wanted to go next. It's like the morality of this story, you know, like, it's so crazy how, and it's also so scary how, like, what can you do for money, you know, like, how much are you willing to sacrifice for money? And this show, one thing I really loved about, like, these new games that they put compared to the other ones, it's the fact that now you can choose. Every time you finish a game, you can choose to quit. If there's not a win by majority, well, the games continue. And that was so clever. Seriously, like, that was one of the best things that they added in this season. I know some people said, oh, it's not about the games anymore, blah blah, but honestly, like, I felt like the first Squid Game was more about the games, more about, like, this discovery of the games. But now that you know the games, like, the second and third season are really about, like, the consequences of the game, the morality of a human being, you know, like, this conflict about, like, how much human can you be when you're around money or things like that, you know. Like, there's so many things that this show really does well, and this Season 3, they really reflect that, you know. Like, they reflect so much on how much human you are inside of you, like, how much people can be still people, you know, despite money and everything, but also how hard it is to choose sometimes. So that was really nice. I really enjoyed that. And also, Squid Game is nothing without its characters. Like, I mean, the characters are just fantastic for me. Of course, not all of them, but in a certain level, I would say the majority, I love them a lot. Like, they made their purpose, they function well in this story. I remember one of the biggest fear and the biggest critique for Season 2 was that in Season 1 you had these amazing characters, and now in Season 2 you don't really have them anymore. So, and it was new characters and everything, and people were kind of afraid because they were, you'd never knew what was their full potential because you felt like this was a one-parter. You see that those characters had a lot of depth, a lot of character development, you know, like a lot of inner conflicts, exterior conflicts, and things like that, you know, like greediness. It was just, well, like, you know, like it was rich in character development. I feel like Squid Game had some really rich characters in terms of development. You know, without these characters, like seriously, the show wouldn't have worked, you know. Also, I want to talk about the visuals. They're always so stunning. Also, the colors that they use in these games and the set design, you know, the set design is just amazing. So honestly, once again, kudos to Netflix and Squid Game, like for doing these, like, you know, for doing this. It's so bright, it's so beautiful, so colorful. I think that's why like people also loved and also were shocked about Squid Game, because it was so unique in terms of the colors and everything. Like you don't see pink being used so many times. You have pink soldier, you have pink buildings, green outfits and things like that. So I think like, yeah, they really knew how to catch them with the colors. So honestly, kudos once again to that. So I want to talk about now the game. So now I'm going to go with the mixed things about this show. I have two things that I want to talk. So first of all, it's the games. So I feel in season 3, the games were, for me, they were a bit meh, because like some games were kind of interesting, but I don't feel, once again, I agree when people say it's not about the games anymore. And seriously, you can feel in season 3 also, it's not about the games. Like the fourth game was pretty interesting, but pretty weirdly done in a certain way. The fifth game I did enjoy, and the sixth game I felt was just like, yeah, whatever, man. And the other thing I felt was kind of, I was mixed about it, and here I'm going to put a spoilery thing, all right, because this could be a minor spoiler. So I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible, but I feel like one thing I wasn't at least expecting was how much protagonism some characters had. So basically, you have your main cast and you have your secondary cast. So these are the characters that, you know, they're there, they have a certain role, you know, but you don't, it's not that, they're not main characters. They're just there. They're important, it's just they don't have that protagonism that the main characters have. So it was kind of strange for me that in season 3, they kind of flipped that and they gave more protagonism to those characters that I didn't really expect that much. And I was just like, okay, this is kind of interesting, because at the same time, I feel like in the script wise, it feels a bit weak, because I'm like, yeah, I'm stuck with these guys that I don't really care that much necessarily. And even in the end, I was like, did I really care about them? Like, you know, like my focus was really in other characters that in the script wise, I was just like, yeah, I'm not sure about this. But at the same time, I respect it, because that's how reality is also. Reality is never about like who do you expect to be there the most. It's like, or the key players. Like, it's really about anything can happen. So anything can happen, and anyone can be protagonist at one point. Like it could shift anytime. So in that sense, that's why I respect it. I was like, well, this is more faithful to what could be reality. So that's why like I was like, okay, I understand that, and I will respect it. And now to finish this video, I want to talk about the bad. There's something I don't like about so this is going to be a spoiler for sure. So I'm going to leave here a spoiler, because this is a spoiler. It's the ending of the show. So spoiler warning, please. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So in the end of the show, the ending, I really enjoyed the ending. I thought it was really poetic and everything. But there's something that happens literally the last scene of this show, and that's where I'm like, shit, man. I wish they didn't do this, but it was already confirmed that they were going to do a Squid Game in America, and you have a tease there. And to be honest, like what made Squid Game really interesting, it's the fact that, first of all, it's the Korean culture. So you were learning about Korea's culture, about like throughout these games, you know, like throughout children's games. So that was really nice to see this. But now it's like Squid Game America, with all the respect, like I love America and everything, but with all the respect, we have so many American medias that tell us a little bit how is the American culture and everything. So how this will be different from what we've seen in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, a lot of medias made in America, you know. I don't know why, like I was telling my friend, it would have been cool to see like another country that we don't see that much all the time. For example, it could have been India, you know, it could have been, I don't know, maybe I don't know, wherever, New Zealand, who knows, man. Like, I mean, it's just like, I feel like now, yeah, this is like Netflix really trying to milk this franchise. First of all, I wish they wouldn't have done this, but I knew this was going to happen because of cash, because people really enjoy this. Okay, fine, I understand you, I get it. I will leave it, I will let you pass. But the thing is, like, yeah, it's just like, why, man? Like, I don't know, I'm not really down with it. And then look, I'm gonna give it a try for sure. Maybe you're gonna hear me like 2 years later, oh my god, this was Squid Game America was the best and everything. It will probably happen, I hope so. But it's just like today, right now, I wasn't really on board with that project. Like, I thought Squid Game was good at how it was, and also they left so many things that they could have continued Squid Game in Korea, and it would have been so much interesting. But I understand that Hwang wants a break. Well, he doesn't want to do this anymore, and understand him. So I respect that. But look, it is what it is. I will see what casting they have and everything. But yeah, it could be really good. It's just I wish it could have been somewhere else. I think like we missed an opportunity to do something a bit more original, a bit more fresher also. So to end up this video, I just wanted to thank once again for these wonderful years with Squid Game, to Hwan, the director, to Lee Jung-jae, to Netflix, and to everyone that worked in this, because it was really nice. I really enjoyed what I've seen in these past years with Squid Game, and honestly, it was a nice ride. And yeah, like they say, all things must come to an end, but it was beautiful. So thank you so much. 감사합니다. So if you enjoyed my video, please don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to leave your comments. What did you think about Squid Game? How much would you give it out of 10? Oh yeah, if I have to give it out of 10, I would give probably season 3 a good 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And if I have to put it like in the trilogy, it would be a solid 9 or even 9.5. I don't know. To be honest, I didn't really even think about the rating. I just wanted to share my thoughts and tell you it's good, and go watch it because it's so worth it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your patience, for listening to what I had to say about Squid Game, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace, everyone.